Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Longboard Blues, 1975. A YouTuber who's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Longboard Blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Lawn Boys Post 1975, and this is a video I never thought I would make about a kind of a resolution to a story that began 16 years ago, and it's a response to my 2019 Christmas message video, my first Christmas in Canada, specifically Montreal. Quickly, I want to apologize about all the clocks in case you can hear them. There are a lot in this room, but true story, every morning I try to recreate Doc Brown's scientific experiment from the start of Back to the Future, which ultimately makes Marty late for school. Anyway, I mean, you know what this video is about. It's in the title, but so basically, that Christmas I thought was going to be a write-off. You know this. I just do a speed recap for anyone who's not seen it and just happened to watch this video. But I would recommend you go and watch that one and particularly read the comment section. So yeah, I had nowhere to spend Christmas, and this individual, Hugo, who I didn't really know that well at that time, offered me his hand, his family's hand in friendship to go and spend Christmas with them, which was just absolutely mind-blowing and really was the true meaning of Christmas. Now, here's the thing, and it almost makes you believe in fate. I wasn't actually going to make that my Christmas message video 2019. I had something else completely and utterly differently planned. I was actually going to obviously start with a message and end with a message, you know, about the moments about Christmas that we love. But because I've always wanted to do this as well, I was going to do my top 10 different versions of A Christmas Carol, because I've never actually done that, and everyone knows that I watch as many versions of A Christmas Carol as I can every year. Excuse me, I've just had a McDonald's breakfast wrap. Like that's gonna help. But for some reason, yeah, because I always thought that it was a very personal story. It meant a lot to me, and I always thought, is it something that people would really want to sit through, or really would be that interested and want to know? And the response to it was absolutely amazing, and the consensus here was pretty much everyone agreed that what an amazing act and what a legend Hugo was. So I don't know why, but I changed my mind at the last minute and said, I'm doing that. I'm talking about that first Christmas in Canada, because it really was the epitome of the true meaning of Christmas. And now I am very, very glad I am, because in the comment sections, there were some comments from this person that were really, really cryptic, and it was, I can't remember off the top of my head without going back now, but they're still there. Go and read them. I hope I'll get them in the right order, but didn't realize it meant that much to this person. And I responded, and then he said something that meant it could only, something only he would know about that Christmas party, or that, you know, the events on that day. And so he said, do you remember the theme of the party that day? And I said, nope, I think, but I do remember there was a game where I guessed the name of the individual on a post-it note stuck to my forehead, and it was a present. Because you know that game when you write, or someone writes a name and sticks it on your head, then you have to ask some questions and work out who it is. And he goes, well, the theme of the party was Hawaiian. And I was like, yeah, right, this is weird, you know. And it's not that I didn't want to believe. It's because obviously this was someone I was really good friends with, and we just drifted out of touch, you know, because of me, you know, being made redundant and having to come home from Canada. But it's an adult thing, being, you know, kind of skeptical. But I thought, wow, is that Hugo? I mean, it's thumbnail, but then everyone's name is different on, you know, YouTube. Look at mine, Lawn Boys Post 1975. I only put the Homer Dave there a couple of years ago. So I drilled down to his YouTube channel, and there's nothing on this channel to say it was Hugo, apart from a couple of old Comic-Con videos that were all filmed in Montreal. So that's when I'm like, is it? I mean, very realistically, it could be, but then also it could just be someone playing a prank, because, you know, social media and people in comment sections. So I responded with, when he said, have you guessed who this is yet? And I went, yep. Kind of put my toe in and feeling the water. Yep, but I didn't know you watched my YouTube channel. And then he responded with, all will be revealed I will send you a PM to your Facebook page. And then I was thinking, how? And then I remembered that because it's linked on the banner of the title on my homepage of YouTube, even if someone's not friends with you, unless they're blocked, they can send you a PM and you will get it, which I'm very much grateful for right now. What I didn't realize is if someone who is not on your friend list sends you a PM, then it gets tucked right away at the bottom, and unless you really go out of your way to look for it, you might not necessarily see this. So anyone who sent me PMs before, or isn't subscribed to me, or follows me on Facebook, sorry, and it says, why hasn't he responded? Honestly, this is a thing, it's annoying. So anyway, he sent me a PM on the Monday before Christmas, which is when I would have been at work, and so I didn't know. And I was at work Tuesday into Christmas Eve, and I still didn't know to go and check for it. And then it was Christmas Day, and I was down the pub with my dad and my brother having a few berries before Christmas dinner, as you do. And yeah, I was checking my messages because lots of people were sending me through Facebook, Happy Christmas, Dave, Happy Christmas, Dave. And then I found this message. I'll show you a little bit of it. I'm only going to show you a little bit of it. He does know I'm making this video. I've asked his permission and I will cut off his name. But basically, he sent me a PM saying, so the long the short of this story is one night I was drilling through all the classic gaming channels on YouTube, and I came across this channel featuring someone who looked really, really familiar. So I started looking, at his content and stuff like that, and I really, 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 really liked it. But he said he was hesitant to contact me because it was, he didn't know if I left Montreal on good terms or bad terms. And the thing is, I left on good terms with everyone there, all my mates and stuff like that. My problem was the company I worked for who pulled the rug out from under me when I was halfway through the process of landed immigration. And the reason for that is you don't intend to lose contact with all these people. These things just happen. But when you make no contingency plans, because when something like that happens and all of a sudden you go for trying to get landed immigrancy to packing up your bags and flying home, after 4 years, completely out of the blue, you don't necessarily get a chance to get all these contact details of people and stuff like that. And you got to remember, as he mentioned in his message, I only showed you a bit of it, that basically, sort of all these things we use now, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and stuff like that. Many didn't exist and some were in their infancy. So, staying in contact with someone then was not, probably the exception of email, was not the thing it is now. But he also said in the message that he couldn't believe that, because it's, that Christmas meant that much to me, and that, now and then his parents ask him how I am, and that he did look for me, did try and find me, again with what I just said about this stuff being in the infancy of what it is now for staying in contact with friends online and stuff like that. And I did look for him, but either he didn't have Facebook when I looked for him, or maybe he was set to private. In fact, I struggled to find anyone with his surname, to be honest, but that was probably me being cack-handed. So he said he was very, very hesitant to contact me because the speed I was rushed away or had to leave, I should say, and whether or not I was in good spirits about it. But I can assure him, hopefully you're watching this, Hugo, because you're a legend, that I was, it was one of those things that drifting out of touch was kind of a bummer, and with a lot of other people over there. But yeah, so he noticed that one day that I guess you kind of assumed that if my Christmas message is my first Christmas in Canada, there's a very realistic chance he might be mentioned in it because of that Christmas I spent at his house, and I was. And that's when he decided that he'd fill the water and reach out to me, at least through YouTube. So after I read this message, I was absolutely blown away, and I responded to him, happy Christmas. Oh yes, we'd definitely like to remain in touch. And I sent him a friend request and he accepted it, and then I PM'd again, and we've agreed, when like all the business, when the busyness of Christmas has settled down, then we are going to, have an instant messenger call. And I'm just absolutely blown away, because it's one of those things when lots of people complain and say, like, social media it's a negative thing, it's toxic, it's horrible, it serves no real purpose. This is a story that proves it completely wrong. That after 16 years of drifting apart, through no fault of each other, we have a chance to reunite, you know, and people say, well, you know, you're doing it for the internet. Isn't that what YouTube is? Isn't that what Facebook is? I think this proves that social media has a place, and I'm absolutely blown away that I did not think when I made that video that it would have this outcome, but I'm absolutely chuffed. And it kind of plays back into, even though Christmas is over now, it's not New Year's yet, though, it's not New Year's yet, it plays into the spirit of Christmas, particularly because I was late to opening the message and read it on Christmas Day. But I cannot tell you how happy I am to that, because I changed my mind at the absolute last minute. I have no idea why I'm holding this Coke cup in my hand. Yeah, because I changed my mind at the absolute last minute, which makes me think, you know, there was something in that. And this message was ultimately resulted in Hugo watching it, because he watched my channel before that message. It was before he watched that message that he didn't know he should reach out to me. And I guess that message was, well, he's talked about me and he clearly has, you know, warm memories of Montreal, so I'll contact him. So yeah, it just goes to show, you know, that, you know, it's, the world's a small place. You know, a friendship is necessarily never ever over. You know, don't think because you drift apart or stuff like that, or you know, things happen on these terms, that means it's over. Ultimately, you could be just one YouTube video or post away from reuniting with someone who, you know, was a big deal, you know, as a friend, you know, almost 2 decades ago. That blows the mind, absolutely blows the mind. Almost 2 decades ago. Like I said, it's just a fantastic end to a story that started 16 years ago. And, you know, I basically just put out there as my Christmas message, simply to share a story that meant a lot to me, and it's resulted in this. I've kind of waffled on this, but like I said, I cannot tell you how absolutely happy I am that, you know, this happened. It's brilliant. And if you are watching this, Hugo, we need to catch up, mate. And brilliant. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad you decided to, you know, reach out initially with those comments. And everyone else, thank you very much for watching. I'd love to know what you think, as always, and thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you later.